Okay, next video. My little pug is being a little ridiculous this early in the morning, but that's okay. Let's use our geometric knowledge to make a few more conjectures, opinions, to consider the circle and the triangle that we all created because we all should be able to create that triangle. Okay. Not only do we know that this was an isosceles triangle, but we must remember that this angle right here, which is 90 degrees, is also right here. And we can't forget that those are called vertical angles. This popped up in the Jeopardy. It's good to know that going across is 90 degrees and going across is also 90 degrees. Another example for me to just verify that we know this is true. If I have two lines of intersection, we should know that if this is 140 degrees and we want to find this angle according to the linear postulate, this plus this gives me 180. So what more do I need for 140 to give me 180? 150. That's an ugly 150, I apologize. And then if we were to cover this side and say, okay, we have 50, how do I get over here to give me 180? Oh, I totally messed up. This is 40 degrees. I'm sorry. It's early in the morning, I apologize. If I cover this side and I have this 40 degrees, I need to get to the other side to give me 180. We should know 40 plus 140 does give me 180. And same thing over here, which is 40 degrees. And we can definitely see how this side is related to this side and this angle is related to this angle. Perfect. This is definitely a conversation for your own self, so please consider that if you must. Jump into the next page. Consider the central angle MOP and POD and their arcs MP to PD. What do you know about the sum of the angle MOP and POD? I'm going to use this one down here. So if we talk about MOP, and POD, we should know the sum is 180 degrees according to the linear postulate. It's not going away. What can you conjecture about the sum of arc MP to PD? That's an interesting take because not only is this not mentioning, we're not talking about the length, we're just talking about the arc that we created from MP to PD, which is also 180 degrees. Interesting. I know you guys were waiting for that word. All right. We need to construct a line EL through the center of the circle parallel to PM so that angle EOP and LOM are both acute angles. Then make conjectures about each of the angle pairs. So I'm going to try my best to do a nice parallel line through O. Kind of messed up at the end, but that's okay. We get the point. The intersection of the circle, this is now E. And this is L. And now we need to talk about the specific angles that they want us to mention. So we talk about PMO, and EOD. Can we assume that these are congruent? Well, we should remember that since this is 90 degrees and these two angles right here are both 45, What is half of 90 degrees right here? Also 45 degrees. So we can say that these two are congruent. Next one, MPO, POE, MPO, POE. Okay, what can we say about those? Mentioning this angle to this angle. Well, we also know that this is 45 degrees. And if we know that this angle is 90 degrees and we talked about how this side is 45, then we should also be able to assume that this part is 45 degrees as well. So these are also congruent. By alternate interior angles. It's been a minute since we talked about that. Of course, refresh your brain, refresh how to remember that it is the inside of these parallel lines, okay? Very, very difficult to see because obviously it's talking about a circle. But if we were to mention the outside skirts of these lines, then those will be exterior, interior, exterior. Terrific. And letter C, make a conjecture about another angle pair that you know something about. If you know exactly what you're looking at and you want to make more comparisons and say, well, sir, I know this is the vertical angle, this is the vertical angle, this is the vertical angle, you write that down right here. This is your own thoughts. Perfect. Let's see on the next page. Beautiful. Next activity, next video.